And we're live. What's up? What's up, everyone? It's the notorious, glorious V the Girl Economist on President's Day. It was not okay. The rain, the sleet, and the snow was coming down, but we got some news to turn your frown right upside down. I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. I'm rhyming, and it's up that timing to get it right with the market. Don't shark it or shard it, because my man Dex is here, and he's hot on the button. If you're forgetting something, Frank is here as well. And he's the ever seen, you know what I mean. So, boys, what's going on?
It just wouldn't stop, the rhyming.
No, he just
I'm a rhyming machine. What?
It's like Tupac and Biggie had come back to life or something. Goodness.
almost. You know, it was like Tupac and Biggie, but reinterpreted through the flow of a Woody Allen.
The flow of a Woody Allen.
Oh man, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't even know what I'm talking. It's Monday. I have a terrible headache. Terrible. I don't know what happened. I went out to I was running some errands. Ran out, grabbed a delicious everything bagel with an egg salad and sprouts and tomatoes and cucumbers and capers all up in it with some red pickled onions. It was just amazing.
My goodness.
Devastatingly delicious. It was so good. God, folks, if you're in New York, you owe it to yourself to get a damn bagel. God. Anyway. And then, I'm about to leave, and I had this tremendous sinus pressure that just came out of nowhere. Like, massive sinus pressure, like my left eye was about to pop out of my skull. I don't know where it came from. My head was getting all woozy. I was like, this is weird. It's like a bad allergic reaction. This is a bagel I have all the time. It's not a problem. So, weird. Just a weird thing. Now I just have this residual headache, and it's Monday. But you want to know something that's exciting, though, guys?
What's that?
The Watch Us trade room has been insane.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, when we just got, this is what happened. We went to the dealership and we traded in the BMW, the M5. We traded in the M5 and we stepped out with a Lamborghini Huracan Performante. And that's what we upgraded to in the Watch Us trade room. Holy smokes. If anybody was a doubter, if anybody thought, literally, when Dex came in and took over Watch Us Trade, people were like, "Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know. There's no one signed up for it."
Just a few. Most people were very, very.
Just a few. We had a handful of guys. Yeah, you knew what he signed up for. Yeah. The panties all of a sudden tightened around their testicles. They thought they almost emasculated themselves in the process. But I told the guys, "Hey, guys, calm it down, relax. It's only day 1, day 2. We're 5 days in, not even 5 days in, and holy smokes. I damn spit the coffee out my mouth. I fell off my chair this morning when I saw the gains that were being made. Frank, tell me, man.
Yeah.
Where can I trade stocks, equities, options, forex, and cryptos all for one low friggin' price? What in God's name?
It's insane. We haven't even hardly emphasized all the stocks and commodities, all these. We've barely even touched. The info is available to people, but so far, our room has historically been the info is available. People are onboarded now. We used to just be a chat room. Now we have a chat room in this incredible file system where every night you get an email when Dex's signals are updated, and it's so powerful. But we've been focusing on just trying to catch up our crypto room on how the crypto trades work. And Dex has been posting sheets every day, and we did something really interesting. We're starting a I almost said sharding. We're not sharding. We're starting a new show. Hold on a second. We're starting a new show where it's called Frank Trades with Dex, and so we're doing that. And we did our first episode of it this morning. And what we're doing is basically we're taking a small account, using our sheets and going through it. And Dex is kind of looking over my shoulder while I'm picking trades from the sheet. And this will be a little hard for people to understand. It'll sound bad at first, but it's actually pretty awesome. We're looking through the sheet and we start seeing that most of the trades, and this was a sheet that was posted Friday. So we were coming to it really, really late. The problem we were having with the sheet was that so many of the trades that had a rally signal had in fact rallied so massively that I couldn't get in them anymore.
Yeah.
And now this, don't think that that was something we did wrong. It's just the opposite. We were hoping there would be stuff left there for Monday, but the truth was by around Sunday afternoon. And the funny thing is, Dex was saying somebody, you know, again, people are adjusting to the new system. Somebody had said to Dex, "Hey, if I had gotten in Bitcoin, I'd be down a little bit right now, right? But they wouldn't have triggered their stop loss." Bitcoin exploded this morning. And had they gotten in using Dex's pulse wave, they would have been just massively in profit. Now, to be fair, there wasn't a rally call on that one, but there was a rally call on Litecoin, and Litecoin had a massive rally today. So we're going through this sheet. The problem was so many of the trades were already well into this stratosphere. We had to try to find one that hadn't popped already. And I'm working through it. You know, you're doing a live video, and people are watching. Yeah, what a problem to have. People are watching your screen, and I was feeling a little embarrassed. Like, geez, I'm trying to show people how to use this thing, and I can't find a trade. And then it occurred to me, this isn't embarrassing. This is like ridiculous. Like, so many of the trades had already popped that we had to like dig through to find one that hadn't popped yet. So
it was crazy.
It was crazy. We finally found a couple. But I wanted to read. This was from one of the people in our room, and we kind of have a theme for today that we want to share with people, and that is that you know, it's something pretty amazing. You know, a while back we used to talk to people about trading 15 minutes a day, and to be honest with you, we had a lot of clients who said, "Listen, I find that really hard. It's more like we do a lot of day trading and watch us trade." And, you know, it's kind of as market forces and just a matter of the style that we were using at the time. With Dex coming into the room, the thing that's so exciting for me is that we are legitimately now offering a product where you can check in, pick your trades, maybe check in a little bit, maybe the next day or that afternoon, and go about your business and let the market come to you. Dex keeps saying that. I'm taking that language from him. You're going to let the market come to you. So we got this quote this morning, and I sent a message to this guy right after, a very cool guy in our room. And I sent a message. I said, people are going to think I paid you to say that. And he was like, nope. In fact, I'm going to tell you exactly what he said. I wrote to him. I said, he had just posted it and I liked it. And I sent him a direct message. I said, people are going to think I paid you for that post. And he wrote, haha, nope. Following the post wave system paid me. Which that's what the pulse wave system, rather.
You know, we used to say,
he wrote post wave, but it's
you know, Frank, we used to say, hey, you know what, 2 or 3 days worth of trading, you could pay for your entire month. With the new system with Dex has told me you just need just one trade. One trade will pay for your membership. I'm like, holy cow. To literally see, you could literally have a life. You're not glued to a damn computer watching the 5-minute chart, the 1-minute chart, and the nanosecond chart, trying to figure out where things are going. You're not drawing, cup handles, giraffe penises. You're not drawing any of these other things on the screen, trying to figure out what these trade patterns are and where it's going to go. You just set it and forget. It's like one of them easy bake ovens, man. Set it and forget it, and just check back with it later and just watch the gains. It's crazy, Dex.
That's what I designed it to do. I designed it not for day trading. I designed it to capture daily bars and weekly bars, not 5-minute and 1-minute bars.
Yeah.
I designed it to capture an entire daily or entire weekly bar. So you place your trades and then you trail your position with the prevailing trend. When the trend stops, then you stop. You're out of the trade and you're on your sidelines waiting for the next signal. It's just that easy. It's not rocket science.
Right.
Building the system is rocket science, but trading it is not. So I wanted to make it easy so that you could have a lifestyle. Yeah. And I enjoy banker's hours and having a lifestyle. So, you know, trading the correct way will give you that. Day trading will never give you that.
No,
trend following will.
You know, Dan Locke, one of the most hardcore badass closers in the world of finance. Dan Locke, you probably see him on his YouTube channel. It's called Boston and Bentley, I think is his YouTube channel. And Dan's pretty savage. I mean, he's almost as good as I am. He's pretty savage. He has a lot more cash. I'm catching up to you, Dan. I'm coming for you. But I'm coming after Grant Cardone too. All in due time. All in due time. All in due time. But there's a thing that Dan Locke always says. People have this impression that you gotta grind and you gotta sweat and you gotta grind it out in a trade or a business or anything like that, or you gotta hustle. You gotta get my grind on. And Dan Locke said he hit the thing out of the ballpark. He said grinding doesn't make you rich. All it does is makes you tired.
I love
grinding don't make you wealthy. It doesn't put money in your no, it makes you tired.
Right.
And you got people that think that you just want to grind it out to exhaustion. Look, I trade today and I spent 16 hours and 8% is what I got. It was a very, very excellent day.
Wow.
Okay.
To break it over the hours, you made less than the minimum wage in 1986, which was $3.35 an hour.
Yep. Exactly right.
So that makes
Frank, what are one of the guys in there who
I set it up.
That comment was so good. I mean, people are going to think that we paid the guy to say this, but this is legit. This is
the guy,
a real user in the room. Go ahead, Frank.
Yeah, this is the guy that I said that people are going to think I paid. I never actually read the quote. So he wrote this. He said, Dex. He added Dex in our room. He said, "Your system is awesome, man. If we were still operating under the previous system, people would be in here freaking out because they see the market moving and they're missing opportunities. With this system, we were prepared for a move with the price triggers, and it's calm as can be." And let me pause there. I'll finish the quote in a second. I used to be an expository preacher. So what you do is you read a little of the verse and you comment. so he's saying it's as calm as can be. This is what I started setting up before. We've had people and they said, the guys are great, everything's great, but I don't got time for this. And it's I can't sit in front of my computer trading all day. I can't do this. And the more I talk to Dex, the more he's saying he never even wants to do that. That's just a nightmare. Who wants to sit in front of your computer all day?
Not I.
I mean, that's not what trading is for. It's to give you more freedom in your life, economically and time wise. And with this system, that's what you get. So he continues. He says, with this system, we were prepared for a move with the price triggers, which we post every night, weeknights, and it's calm as can be, just following the price with a stop loss. I was a bit hesitant because I had never been in another trade room before, but after understanding how the system works and using it for a few days, I know this system is superior, at least for me and my work schedule. Truly 15 minutes a day trading. Amazing. So that blew me away because it's it's kind of like it's really what we wanted to hear. It's what I've been trying to help people see about the system, is that it's an extremely laid back way to trade, and it's just powerful. So yeah, so Dex, we wanted to talk a little bit about your philosophy. We wanted to get this out to people, especially those who had been with us in the past and it was just too fast paced for them, or too much computer watching, too much chart watching. You have a specific philosophy that is built into the pulse wave system, and you and I have talked about this on a lot of our videos inside the room, but we haven't talked about it in front of the public here on Rogue News. So can you talk a little bit about your philosophy that goes into the pulse waves? That you've talked about this in some of your videos, that you designed it so that you wouldn't have to be sitting there waiting. You designed it so the market would come to you. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes, I designed the pulse wave system so that I don't have to be chained to my desk all day long, only to have no trade setup develop. So I designed the system to let the market come to me. The way I enter a trade is I place my tickets ahead of the market, ahead of the move, and then I let the trade develop and let the market come to me. If I get triggered into a trade, it's because the market conditions are ripe and a big move is happening. If the market comes within an inch of triggering me, but doesn't trigger me, and then reverses and changes course, that's because it was not for me to be in that trade, because the market is not prepared to go in the opposite direction. That's how I designed it. There are times where the market will come within a penny of triggering the trade, and it doesn't, and it reverses. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
The price triggers are developed and designed based on intraday market activity. What that means is the system, the algo bots take a look at what's happening in a given market. If there's an option market that's viable, to the instrument that's being traded. It looks for that, put call ratios. In the case of cryptos, it's looking at market depth. It's looking what's going on. It's trying to sniff out any nefarious activity. Nefarious activity, when I say that, I mean any kind of large institutions coming in or trying to make a certain move in the market, whether it be unloading a whole bunch of Bitcoin or possibly sneaking in there and trying to buy up a lot of Bitcoin. It looks at all of that. Excuse me. And as a result of that analysis, the system spits out what is called rally alerts or crash alerts. So when you say rally alert, it means that an upward move in a particular market is imminent. When it says crash alert, it means a downward move in a particular market is imminent. And what the price triggers do as a part of that system, the price triggers act as an alert in and of themselves. If our buy stop is triggered, then that's letting us know that someone or something is on the move in a market, and you're going to want to get long that market. Likewise, if the support trigger is taken out, or what is called the intraday price inflection point, if that's taken out, then that means that there's going to be a massive amount of short selling in play for that instrument. So the system looks at all those things. Now, while the system's working hard, I don't have to. I don't have to sit here and pore over hundreds or thousands of charts. That is humanly impossible. All right. So the system tells me where to buy, where to sell. I place my tickets ahead of the market, and then I can leave my room. I can leave the computer. I can leave the office. I can leave the house and go and do whatever I need to do, because now the market is going to take care of itself. If I'm triggered, my stop is automatically put in there. Boom. I don't have to worry about anything. But what if there's a flash crash and you're long something? Well, that's the good part about it, because as easy as to put in a buy, you can put in a sell too, for those that have that ability. If not, fine, you're out of your long position. Now you're flat and you're not being roasted with everyone else when the market's falling. So it's an awesome way to trade. And in a nutshell, the term for what I would call it, because it's definitely not day trading, it's trend following, okay, or trend trading. That's where you're riding trends in a given market. Most of the time, markets spend most of their time consolidating or moving sideways. They're not going anywhere. They just have these wide trading ranges, and the market's just whipping up and down and taking people's money. During those times, the system's pretty much on the sidelines. It's not doing anything. That's what you don't want to be in. But when the markets are ready to trend, it's right there with it, and it's going to ride until the trend is over. And I designed the system to win 8 out of 10 trades. That's what I designed it to do.
Jeez.
So I let it do what it's supposed to do. If I get stopped out and I take a loss, that is the cost of doing business, because trading is a business. And I don't cry about it. I place the next trade, and the next trade normally will make up that which you lost in the previous trade and then some. That's how it works. That's trading. That's the business of trading.
Again, we got to stop on winning out of 8 out of 10. So when you say you designed it to win 8 out of 10 trades, that means, and here's the thing. One of the things that was like a bit much for some people is how many trades you're posting every day. Like the Friday sheet had, I think, about 10, just the cryptos. We're doing stocks, we're doing futures, we're doing Forex. Just the crypto sheet, which was the one that I was using, and the one that most of the people were prepared for, had I'm just estimating about 10 that had a rally signal. Okay. So, and then sure enough, this morning when we went to look for anything that hadn't rallied yet, we were finding one after another that already had.
Correct.
So you're actually being, even with giving those, and I think you post about, well, now you're posting over 70 cryptos to do. And so then with a quick click of the mouse, we narrowed it down to 10. And then I was looking for something specific. I wanted something with trend momentum and a rally alert and no crash alert. So that was really easy to do. And we found a handful that fit that. So that just took a couple of seconds, really. and I show people how to do that. That's just a matter of making a few clicks on the spreadsheet. So even with that many calls, you were doing that extremely conservatively.
Correct.
Because if you're going for 8 out of 10, that means there's lots of other calls in there that you could make with your system. You could go for 5 out of 10. You could go for 3 out of 10, which most traders would be completely happy with those ratios, but you're going for 8 out of 10. It's funny because, like, on the one hand, you're being extremely conservative with what you consider a rally indicator. And on the other hand, you're giving us so many options.
Correct. And I design my system different than what most people do. Most people who develop systems, they try to, design a system, that's going to basically make them money. They're looking to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't design my system looking to make money. I designed my system looking to be right.
Mm-hmm.
So I did something different. I didn't care about the making of money because I knew that if it's robust, it's going to make money anyway.
Yeah.
And when I'm in a bull market, who can't make money? So I didn't care about that. I cared about being correct in my analysis. That's what I designed the system to do, is to be correct. The money will come and take care of itself. You want to be right in your analysis. And when you place a trade, you want to know that you're going to make money with it. So I built so many different things into the system that it's almost a contradiction, because there's also a stop and reverse mechanism built into the system. So if you place a trade, let's say to go long soybean futures, well, guess what? If you get stopped out, the system will get you short in the market now that you've been stopped out on your long position. This means that you were wrong. The market doesn't want to go up. It wants to go down. So you're going to stop and reverse yourself, and you're going to get short. So that mechanism is built into the system also. Then I know other people say, well, what about when news or something comes out on a particular stock, and now the stock is doing the opposite of what it was doing, blah, blah, blah. Well, the intraday price inflection points will show you that you already know where that point is in a market before it happens. So that if any news or something comes out to move a market, that price inflection point is where the action is going to take place. How do you know that? Once again, the algo bots sniff out different price points within the price ladder. We look at all types of market depth activity, and then it lets me know where the little robber barons are hiding and when they're going to come out to play. And then my system jumps ahead of it and puts you in the mix 24 hours in advance. So in a way, you can say, yeah, it's predicting the future, but I don't like to say that. I like to say that it's predetermining where there's going to be action in a given market before it happens.
And you're going to the action, letting the action come to you.
Yes.
You're positioning yourself so the action comes to you, I should say.
Correct. You're like the skipper who puts that binocular thing on and looks out into to the sea.
Yeah.
And he can see that there's a storm on the horizon coming.
Yeah.
And he can tell you how far off it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then he does whatever he does to prepare for that. And then when it comes, he's already ready for it because he saw it coming before everybody else did.
Yeah. Wow. Excellent.
Yeah. It's really simple. It's not rocket science. The rocket science is in the construction of the system,
yeah,
in and of itself.
Yeah. That's another thing I was going to say. It's like, you're saying all these complicated things, but people have to understand, and we've been trying to educate people on this all week, that the complexity is in building the system. Simplicity is in using the system. It's really, really powerful. You're really just like, there's a lot of information that we put out, but you're really just looking for a couple of key pieces of information and then doing something that you want to do. Just pick it. You're in a Litecoin. Well, guess what? There's a rally signal on Litecoin. There's no crash signal, and there's good trade momentum. So go for it. And then even beyond that, let's say you just like to trade, and you talked about this morning, that one good habit to have is to find a few things that you like to trade so that you're looking at them all the time. So let's say you just really like trading Bitcoin, right? That's your thing. And so there was no rally signal on Bitcoin, but there was a pulse wave price trigger on. There's a pulse wave price trigger on everything.
Correct.
So you could, and we teach you how to do this at Watch Us Trade. You could establish a what do you call it? A limit order using the price wave trigger that you gave for Bitcoin.
Correct.
Which was, I mean, it's irrelevant now, so I could, because it exploded.
Right.
It was, yeah, Bitcoin's trading at 3,900 right now. The price wave trigger, which you could have implemented if you wanted to on Saturday, was in the 3,600 range. And so let's say that you're a Bitcoin trader and you say, well, I always want to be ready for a rally on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin will rally if it hits this price. That's what the Pulse Waves is telling us, which was 36 and change. I think it was 36.70 or something like that.
Correct.
So if you're one of those people who always wants to be in position for a Bitcoin rally, you're going to give the price wave trigger for a Bitcoin rally every day, and you can have a stop limit order. And for people who don't know what a stop limit order is, it only gets filled if it hits that price.
Correct.
So if you're the kind of person, let's say you really believe in a specific product, let's say you're the kind of person where you just love everything about Tron, the token TRX. And so nothing's happening there today, or maybe it's been going down a few days, but you always want to be in a position where if Tron rises, you want to be up on that rise because you want to stack as much of that as you possibly can. You could look for the pulse wave trigger, and even if there isn't a rally price, there still is going to be a pulse wave price so that you could be ready in case there's a rally, despite what the indicators have shown. So as you and I talked about the other day, maybe some big company decides to come in and buy it up, and so now it's going to go through the roof or something like that. You can actually have your stop limit order in, so that if something happens, you'll be in a position to benefit from it. And if it doesn't happen, then you didn't lose anything.
And remember what I was telling you earlier in an earlier video about the 2-bar Charlie opening bid strategy?
Mm-hmm.
Guess what had a 2-bar Charlie this morning?
The opening one. Yeah. What did?
The Bitcoin futures.
Wow.
The opening price was 3,600 even, and the low was 3,600 even. That's a bullish 2-bar Charlie. That means the market's going to be up all day, or all day up market. And that's exactly what we're seeing in Bitcoin right now.
Wow. Amazing.
And the system predicted this when did the sheet come out?
Friday night.
And you got that rally alert when?
Friday night.
And the rally alert played out with the 2-bar Charlie when?
This morning.
Today.
Yeah, today.
So that wasn't 24 hours in ahead. That was 72 hours. 72
hours. Yeah. Yeah.
And you had the sheet in your possession telling you that.
Yeah.
Now, do you see why I got kicked out of the cotton pit?
Yeah. Did we tell this story on Rogue the other day, or was it just to our private one?
I don't know which one it was.
You know what? I don't think it was. I think it was just me and you talking. I don't know if we even did it.
You guys talking?
Okay. Well,
tell the story about the cotton pit.
All right. All right. The story goes as follows. And yes, I do have multiple witnesses on this one. Okay. So back during my Wall Street days, back in the 90s, I was trading cotton futures. And
no, you weren't.
Yes.
Oh man.
Back during that time, I got paid for designing specific systems for individual, very wealthy clients who wanted to be able to take advantage of a particular market. In this case, and this is truthful. In this case, I had a soybean system that I was using to trade the grains with, specifically soybeans. So I said, let me see if my new product for cotton that I use based off the soybean system would work. And it didn't just work. It did something that I've never seen before. All right. So before the market would open, I would place my tickets like I instruct people to do today. And when the market would open, my system would have already bought the low of the day and sold at the high of the day before the market opened. So as soon as they open the pit for trading, my tickets are right there waiting to be executed first. They put my buy in, they put my sell in, and lo and behold, for that day's trading session, at the end of the day, when you look at where the high was and the low, I bought the exact low of the day. The lowest price of the day was my buy, and the highest price of the day was where I got out of the market. And I did that multiple times to the point where they said, okay, that's enough. I don't know what's going on here, but we can't have that. Because see, back in those days, it wasn't really electronic trading. You didn't have internet trading like that yet. That was in its infancy. You had to pick up a phone and call a broker, and the broker on the floor will execute your tickets for you. And they would, the market makers back then in those days would be able to, they make their living off the spread. So I was taking the guy's spread from them, taking it for myself. And it was like, we don't know how you're doing this, but we got to put a stop to it. So they stopped filling my tickets. They started filling me after the market closed. Then I would get my fills and I'd be all screwed up and upside down and, getting smacked around and losing because they were mad because I was taking their money. So I wasn't able to do that no more. But lo and behold, back in 2011, about 2011, 2012, one of those times, I did it. I hadn't done it in so long. I did it again. I was trading for a client. And that's when, if you guys remember, when cotton went to 300, do you remember that? There was some supply issue going on, and it made cotton go to historic highs. 300. For those of you who don't understand, cotton usually trades at like 60 cents. And it went to 300. So that should tell you something. That's $300, man. So I did it twice. One more again. I did it twice, but I stopped. I said I can't do this again because I know that I don't want them to catch on to me. Now that I'm a civilian, then they can really block me. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do it again. But I did do it twice. I did it twice more.
That's
back
insane.
In 2011. Yeah. So this is why I got kicked out, because again, I developed my system to be right. I didn't design it to make money. I designed it to be right.
Never heard anybody say that before. I mean, V has a lot more experience in finance than I, but I've never heard anybody say they designed their trading system to be right, not to make money. Yeah. And it's so obvious. Obviously, you're going to make a ton of money if you're right.
Well, there's one other guy who did. Well, actually, no, I can't take all the credit. There's one other guy that I read in Futures magazine many years ago. And he was a African-American guy. And he designed a system that wasn't designed to make money. It was actually designed to be flat. And he did it because some other model that he had designed, he needed something to offset or whatever. So he designed a model to not make money at all. It literally doesn't make money. If you do what he says with his system, you will only break even.
Why?
There was I forget the context of everything, but
that's bizarre.
Yeah, he was.
He had a reason.
There was a reason. It made sense at the time. And he needed something to offset, so that's what he did. And I was laughing because when I was building my system back when it's in its infancy stage back then, the vice president of the firm ran a back test on it, and he saw that in drawdown periods that I literally really didn't have any. I was basically flat during down markets. My system was flat.
Wow.
So it was hilarious. So anyway, that is a little bit, some background story on where I've come from. The system used to be called T-Rex. That's what I called it.
T-Rex?
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a blend of me and my wife's name.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I called it T-Rex, and then I changed it. Initially, the first instrument that it traded was U.S. Treasuries and live cattle. And then I branched out, to the stock indexes and other things. But all of it, though, is what we're trading now, what you're using now, just so you know, you're actually trading, the predecessor of the soybean system. The soybean system was designed to only take 1.25 points out of the soybean market on a daily basis. And it did it. It did it with stunning accuracy. It was ridiculous.
Hey, the soybean market is huge to begin with, man.
Soybean is people don't know this.
Yeah, it doesn't sound important like when you talk about soybeans. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not a sexy market, but it trades and moves like the S&P 500. And guess what other market does too, and people don't notice it? Crude oil. Crude oil, soybeans, and the E-mini S&P 500, those markets are extremely day tradable.
Wow.
And they move the same.
Wow.
So that's why a lot of people who day trade, they day trade those markets. And it's liquid enough too. Chicago Board of Trade did a lot of a wonderful job keeping their grain markets relevant. So, but anyway, and what does that have to do with cryptos? I'll tell you, because even though they tried not to, unfortunately, the scope and the design of the entire crypto industry is based and backed by the New York Stock Exchange and what the boys did up there at One Chicago, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So they move and operate similarly. I can't say similar. They're similar.
Similar. Messing me up now I can't. Now none of us can say it. Thanks, Dex.
Look, if you guys remember, like a year or so ago, 2 years ago, remember when I got laughed? It was like he doesn't understand or know anything about cryptos, because I was saying that the crypto market is just like the stock market and the soybean. It's going to move the same way, and it's going to be, And I said eventually it's going to be basically taken over or manipulated. Remember I said all those things?
And you were right.
And people they hate it. Like, you're the stupidest man on YouTube. So people told me that. You're the dumbest dude on YouTube. You don't know anything about, you need to stick to stocks. You don't know what you're talking about. And then I said, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Fine. And then when
in comes the big institutions
and killing people.
Slaughtering them.
I will say this too. I can't back this up because I don't have any tangible proof that I could present to people to say, see, here it is right here. I can only tell you that the proof I do have is within the algorithms themselves. But I do believe, based on what I have been seeing and, doing this, putting the postways out every day, I have reason to believe that there are some very powerful and large institutions, and based on my experience, it's usually the Fed.
Yeah,
has their boot on the neck.
Hey, look what I threw on the screen. This is a proof of funds from a large institution. This is an institution that's buying Bitcoin. This is like sitting in one account. They got like over $2.5 billion to spend on Bitcoin, bro.
Okay, so
how can it not be manipulated? 6 of the 7 biggest miners of Bitcoin are all in China.
Okay, so once again, I don't know why this is happening. I can only tell you guys what I'm seeing. Okay, I don't know the hows and I don't know the whys. I'm just telling you that I've seen similar price activity going on in Bitcoin that I have seen in gold and silver futures prices. Yep. So take from that what you will, but as we know, they don't like to let gold and silver rise and move on its own. They people like J.P. Morgan and Goldman Sachs and other people like to come in and keep the boot on the neck of the metals. But I see something in the price action that does suggest that they've been attempting to manipulate the Bitcoin futures to move and operate like the gold and silver. But for whatever reason, now here's the part people ain't gonna like. For whatever reason, it's not working anymore.
V, why you calling me on Telegram, V?
That was an accident, dude. I was trying to close out Telegram. I wound up calling you.
We're on the show. We're listening to this, man. About wisdom, and you're calling me on Telegram.
Sorry.
So I hope y'all. I hope people hear what I'm saying. Whatever they were doing, in the manipulation of the gold and silver market, I saw them doing the same thing in the Bitcoin futures. But what I'm telling you is that recently, they haven't been doing it. It's like they stopped doing it.
Okay, now I'm tuning in. You think they're going to let it rally?
Gold, silver, and Bitcoin, I do believe, will rally together this summer.
Whoa!
Wow! That makes a lot of sense.
You think they're going to let it?
I think it's not about letting. I think whatever they were doing, they stopped for whatever reason.
Interesting.
I don't know why. I can only tell you what I've been seeing in the price action.
Yeah.
Nice.
And,
Wow.
So it is what it is, folks. Now, tomorrow, everything could crash and burn. Don't hate me. I'm just saying what I've been seeing in the price action. I'm just reporting what I've been seeing. I'm not calling for an incredible explosive rally in either one of those markets for this summer. I'm just saying, based on the price action that I've been seeing, this does have all the earmarkings of a huge run here in the summer, if not sooner.
Very cool. Hey, let me promote something, V, real quick. We are going to post later today. Dex said I could post this today because of its relevance or irrelevance. We are going to be posting our first episode of Frank Trades with Dex over at the Watch Us Trade YouTube. So people should go and subscribe over there. This first one was long. They're usually going to be short. The first one was like over an hour long, but they're usually going to be just 10, 15-minute snippets of me and him looking at the price wave triggers. And you'll watch a relative noob, me, trade while Dex talks to me. We're looking at his price triggers, his pulse waves. We're looking at my screen, and we're trading a tiny little Binance account. And Dex, I don't know if you want to talk about this, but you actually designed your system. You could stop me if you think this is designed your system to work really well for people with small accounts, which you hadn't told me that before. You told me that today.
Okay. That is one little part I left out. Back when I first started designing and working on it, way back when, I designed it to work on an account as small as $1,500.
Wow. It's wild.
But now, where we are now in the 2019 era, when I started incorporating cryptos into it and wrote the code for the cryptos, I made it to work on an account as small as $500.
Wow. I thought you were going to shoot me down. You made it even better.
Yeah, I made it so if you're trading cryptos, you can start trading with as little as $500.
That's insane. Now, of course, people, it's our room is, it's not cheap, but man, that's wild. So one of the things we're doing for fun is I'm going to trade a small account. I put $900 in a Binance account, $900 worth of crypto, little less than that actually. And so me and Dex are going to trade it every day. I'm going to be using it, looking at his sheet every morning and placing trades. And then we'll come back the next day and look at it. So first episode of that is going to be up later. Like I said, the first episode's a little long, but subsequently they'll be pretty quick. So if you're curious, like, what is this like? How hard is it? Blah, blah, blah. Check us out at the Watch Us Trade YouTube. V, can you please make sure there's a link? I don't know if there is anymore, but there used to be links in your description to that. So
yeah, there is.
Okay, cool. So link in the description. Go check out the Watch Us Trade YouTube. And go to Watch Us Trade.
WT.live.
Really easy. WatchUsTrade.io or WUT. One of the reasons we do Watch Us Trade Live is when people say WUT, they say it too fast and it sounds like WT. So WUT.live or WatchUsTrade.io, they're the same website. And you can sign up. You really need to get in here with us. Me and Dex are going live in the room. We started doing live chats in the room. And by live chats, I mean like live streaming chats using Zoom. And it's been very cool. People can come on and talk to us. And nobody talked to us today. What was with that, Dex? Nobody wanted to talk.
Half of the people were busy counting their coins because they was long this market.
They were killing it.
They got their pulse waves of like, I ain't got time to talk. I'm making this money. And then the others was just silenced today because those were the naysayers. It was like, man, so what? You just gonna let the computer trade for you now?
Oh wow!
Yeah. I like to be stressed. You don't understand. I like being stressed and staring at my computer screen, pulling my hair out, and not being able to. Afraid to go to use the bathroom. That's what I like.
I was there, folks. Trust me, this is not the 1990s. That doesn't exist anymore. And to be honest with you, if you were day trading, sorry, here's where the bar was set. My average daily win for my clients back then when we were day trading, chained to the desk, was $1,100 a day. And I would normally be finished trading before lunch. I would start around, I want to say 8:30, 9 o'clock and be done by lunchtime. By noon, my day was over with.
Wow.
And that was about $1,100 a day. And that's what we did consistently every single day. So if you're day trading today and you're not making at least $1,100 a day, you're wasting your time, because guess what? The market has changed, whether you want to accept it or not.
Yep.
You're not going to make that anymore. You're not going to do. See, that was back
1,100 back in the 90s. I'm going to adjust that for inflation. It's like $2,400 today.
Yes.
So if you're not making $2,400 today, hey, you're wasting your time. Dude, $2,400 a day.
600 point price ranges is what you were dealing with back then.
Yep.
Between the Dow, S&P, and the NASDAQ, you had 200, 600 average price points a day, where the market would literally trade at the high of the day and the low of the day several times throughout the day. And I'm not exaggerating. Those days don't exist anymore. We've had volatility, yeah, but not like that.
But you don't understand. I've grinded it out all day. I'm exhausted and stressed out, glued to my screen, my small screen smartphone, my large screen TV. You don't get it, Dex. Nothing about like being exhausted and stressed out, knowing that my portfolio just went up only 8% and I made $500. It's amazing.
Like we used to say, you hustling backwards.
Yeah.
Why do I get the feeling you have a million sayings like that?
Pretty much. Yeah, you hustling backwards, man. Day trades for the birds. Nobody day trade no more.
I love it.
Trend trade, man. You trend follow. Sometimes the trend only lasts a day, but then other times it may last, 3 to 5 days on average. Most moves last about 3 to 5 days on average now. So that's about it. That's all you're really getting. You're gonna be in and out of the market a lot. But day trading, it takes too much of your time, and it's really a waste of your time, because you're competing against the algo bots, and they're gonna cream you because you can't place your tickets fast enough. The algo bots place hundreds of thousands of trades in a minute. You can't even get one off in a minute.
While you guys are talking, I'm using 2-bar Charlie to move my Bitcoin stop up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Dex taught me how to do V. There's a thing that Dex I don't know if you coined it, but it's a method called 2-bar Charlie for moving your stop loss. It takes
I did coin that. That's mine.
Seconds. You coined that, right?
Yeah, that's me.
It takes seconds. You decide how aggressive you want to be. In fact, you know what? I'm looking with the moving average at 5 that you set.
Yeah.
Dex, and it's pretty much telling me I should pretty much just close the position.
There you go.
Yeah, it's essentially hitting the bottom of the wick right now.
Yeah, go ahead and take your money. Take your money and run.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that in the room, folks?
No, you're not looking at the 1 minute chart and then the 10-second chart. What's the 10-second chart saying?
Well, here's the thing. Dex was explaining this a little bit earlier. He has this 2-bar Charlie thing, which I still am not totally clear on the way it's used for the daily trading, but it's also used for setting your stop loss. So if you're in a trade, he has this. And the first time I listened to his video about it, I told everybody, my daughter, my youngest daughter, had the stomach flu this weekend. So I was watching his video about 2-bar Charlie and taking care of a little girl who was saying, my stomach hurts, which was your 5-minute warning to get the bucket. The poor little thing was so sick. So I didn't really get the 2-bar Charlie thing. And then today we did a demo of it on our live video with the room, and it was like this most dead simple thing that of how to know where to set your stop loss. And so sure enough, just now we're on air and I'm like, let me look at Bitcoin. It looks like it's getting a little toppy. And I did the 2-bar Charlie, and it's pretty much telling me it's time to take my money.
And correction, you're not using it on a daily chart. 2-bar Charlie is
hourly.
Yeah, you use the 4-hour and the 1-hour chart, not the daily chart.
Right. 4-hour and 1 hour. I keep doing that. I did that before too. Yep. And I was looking at the hourly. I just said it wrong. So are you looking at Bitcoin right now there, Dex?
I can be. Give me a second.
You please? Now I'm just using you. Now I'm just using the fact that I have you on the phone.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's hitting that. It's hitting. Okay, I'm gonna get out. I'm out. I'm tapping out.
Oh, you didn't wait for me to pull up. You like I'm out of here.
It's starting to hit that. It's starting to hit
like
the
I ain't waiting
indicator.
no more. I'm out. Oh, yeah, hold on. He jetted. He said, "Forget that. I ain't giving back nothing." All right. Let's see. Let me hold on. I gotta switch my back to the dollar. Hold on. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I probably will go ahead and take profit too. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put in the crypto discussion. You guys hear what Dex just said? Love it. Very cool. Using 2-bar Charlie, which I learned 5 seconds ago this morning. It's very cool. Wow.
That's what it's about, though, man. That's what it's about. It's about knowing how to take that money, man. Take the profits and run.
Keep it. Very cool.
You got to,
cool.
man.
Yeah. So anyway,
right.
folks, watchustrade.io. That's where you want to go.
Watch us trade, folks. I mean,
you got to come back. Those of you who been, you got to come back.
It's
Things
better than ever.
different.
I mean, stress-free, easy peasy, set it and forget it. Enjoy the profits, man. Enjoy the gains. Dex's system does all the work. Just get into your positions and let the market come to you. It's as simple as that. It's as easy as that. Watchustrade.io, $300. You are getting money machine. The Wall Street money machine is on full tilt. Do you want to get paid before you go and work at the perfume aisle at Macy's? Check this out. Watchustrade.io, WUT.live. The link is in the description box. Sign up today. Be part of all sorts of gains. And like I said, guys, Dex and I have practically the only two ones on YouTube that have been screaming about this for at least the last 3 years, Dex. Dow 29,000. Here we come.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They didn't want to hear that, though.
No, they want to hear that.
No, they want to hear cat food.
Yep. They want to hear cat
food. Buy cat food.
Head to your bunker.
Head to your bunker with your cat food.
All right, gents. Thank you both for being on today, folks. Again, check us out. Watchustrade.io, WT.live. Subscribe to the channel. Hit it with thumbs up, like, share, comment. And every day, Frank and Dex are in there. They're trading. They're interacting. They're doing videos, live conference calls. I mean, this is where you want to talk about quality interaction, quality customer service with a quality product professionally done by a man who has built this system with 25 years of experience trading on Wall Street, a real Wall Street hotshot. Folks, check it out, watchustrade.io. And with that being said, we're over.